Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the top 10 things we should probably see in Grand Theft Auto Online, but never will. So this was actually a pretty cool topic I saw started by a user FW3 on the GTA Forums site, and I thought it was really cool, and I agreed with so many of the things, and I also have some of my own ideas as well. So we're going to be talking about them in this video. Now, this is not a wish list of sort. What I'm going to be doing is talking about things in-game that you should see but never will, and that Rockstar probably won't add. Now, there are a ton of things in Grand Theft Auto Online that Rockstar have added that are awesome and are obviously been super successful. However, there are just as many things in Grand Theft Auto Online that make you say, why is this not in the game, or when will this be added, or, I wonder why this isn't a thing. So this video is definitely for fun, and I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think as well. But let's not waste any more time, and let's jump straight into it. This is also in no particular order, but at the number 1 spot, construction crews that actually do something. So there's a ton of buildings in the game, like houses and giant skyscrapers, that still need finishing, yet every time you go there, the construction workers are either smoking cigarettes or they're talking on their cell phones, and they just seem to not be doing any work. In fact, the one guy I actually got to do something, he was just jackhammering the ground over and over and over again. He wasn't actually doing anything productive. So it would be cool to see people like working on houses, building them. Obviously, making them, be created and dynamic would be certainly difficult, but have them do something other than just standing around. I mean, what are they getting paid to do? I guess that's exactly what they're getting paid to: stand around and smoke cigarettes and jackhammer the ground in the same spot. All right, moving on. At the number 2 spot, cop cars that actually patrol the streets or do something. The only time you see cops in Grand Theft Auto Online, for the most part, is when you've obtained a wanted level and then they come after you. You don't ever really see cops doing anything in online. You'll rarely see them start flashing their lights or walking around the police station, but that's honestly about it. It would be cool if you just were driving down the highway and then all of a sudden you saw a police car speed by you trying to catch up to someone they were going after. Now, that would be pretty cool. So a little bit more, creativity from the cops, because you never see them, and the only time you do is when you really don't, and that's when you've got a wanted level or something along those lines. So that right there would be pretty awesome. Up next, at the number 3 spot, NPCs actually using the stores. So I'm talking about the Los Santos Custom Shop, Benny's, maybe some other places like the haircut place. No one uses the Los Santos Custom Shop other than us. It would be cool to see NPCs going in and out. For example, if they brought a random car off the street in, and then a minute or two later passed, and they brought out one that maybe had a different paint job or had some sort of modifications on there. That right there could be pretty awesome, and would lead to not only more variety on the streets, like the cars you would see would be customized a little bit, but it would also be cool to see people actually using the stores and shops and whatnot that we use as well. Again, I'm not really too sure how the coding for something like that would work, and I'm sure it would be very complicated, but at the end of the day, it would definitely be really, really cool. Up next, I'd love to see some of the characters we get to interact with, like in missions, like Martin and Gerald and Trevor and Ron. I want to actually see them in the world. So what are these guys doing all the time when we're not requesting a job? Are they just sitting in their apartments? Are they just sitting in their houses? I mean, how cool would it be if you were up in Sandy Shores and all of a sudden you just saw Trevor driving around? I mean, he's alive, he's in the game. It would be cool and would definitely make the world feel a little bit more connected to some of the single player elements. Now, I understand someone like Lester, never seeing him out, but certainly some of the other guys, like Lamar, what does he do when we're not doing the lowriders missions or when we're asking for a job? Same with Simeon. Is he just in his car lot all day? I'd like to see other people like that out and about, maybe even going to get a haircut or shopping at the clothing stores. That would be really, really cool. All right, up next, I'm going to say gang shootouts or gang wars. So you guys know one of the TV shows, it's called The Underbelly of Paradise, and then kind of compare it to what we actually see in Grand Theft Auto Online. There's no shootouts between the gangs, there's no drive-bys, there's no burglaries of random houses or drug stashes or pickups. Basically, it's just a bunch of peace and prosperity amongst these gangs. And if no one provokes anything, nothing is going to happen. So to me, that seems a little bit unrealistic. I would love to just start driving by Grove Street and then all of a sudden it's like Ballas versus Families Wars. That would be very, very cool in my opinion. So I'm not entirely too sure why Rockstar can't have them interact more than the way they do. It just seems a little bit boring. Okay, up next, I'd like to see parties in the rich districts, or basically like celebrities, rich kids, rich adults with all these big houses. Nothing goes on there. I mean, the closest thing we're going to get to an NPC party would probably be at the Playboy Mansion, and I would even hardly call this a party. Really, it's just a bunch of people standing around and like kind of moving. There's some girls there, but they don't really do anything. There's some guys that kind of hang out by the pool. So if you want to call this a party, you can. But I'm talking about like full-blown celebrations, kind of like Vinewood-like stuff. I'm really just not too sure why we don't see anything like that. There was a mission called By the Book that had a party that was kind of similar to this. Why can't we have something like that in online, at least random events? That would be really cool, but instead, there's like nothing that goes on in the city. All right, moving on, open businesses. So this one confuses me probably the most just because we saw this so much in GTA 4. I'm talking about places like Cluckenbell or Burger Shot, or even in some crazy scenarios like the Bahama Mamas nightclub. I mean, there's all these interiors that we have in the game that are used for cutscenes and missions, even in Grand Theft Auto Online, that we can't go to in free mode. Now, probably the best example of this is the Bahama Mamas nightclub. Now, Rockstar do put some people outside, and they do put like a bouncer and a bodyguard, but honestly, that's as lifelike as this place looks. There isn't anything else that indicates anything is going on inside. Obviously, we can't enter. So yeah, I want to be able to go into more buildings and more interiors. Not sure why we can't. It makes the world feel very one-dimensional, like there's no 3D-ness to it because you can't go inside anything. And if we were able to, that would be pretty awesome. Okay, up next, something like cleanup crews when you make a giant mess. So obviously a big part of online is, doing whatever you want. And let's say you blow up a gas station or you go around shooting people with a minigun. Well, after the aftermath, I'd kind of like to see a cleanup crew process happen. I don't know what that would be like, whether it's paramedics that like actually do their job, or whether it's police that like close down a section of a street and put up like police blockades and whatnot. That would be pretty cool. I just want it to feel more like something happened and not like it's business as usual as soon as you go around the block and come back. Again, I don't know the coding or the process or the way Rockstar would ultimately go about doing this, because I'm sure it would be very complicated, but I still would like that nice feature for online to make it feel way more realistic. All right, at the number 9 spot, the mechanic actually working on our cars. So I think it was like a year or two ago, we lost Johnny on the Spot, the mechanic that would deliver our vehicles, but there was actually, in a trailer for Grand Theft Auto Online, a mechanic that was working on our vehicles in our garage. And when we bring our cars into our garage, they're magically fixed. So who does the fixing? Is it a mechanic? Is it someone else? So I'd actually like to see mechanics or other people working on our cars in our garages at random. I think that would be cool because really nothing happens in the garages. The cars just sit there. And even in the custom auto shop, you've just got like one lady that stares at her tablet the whole time. So I really wish there was like some mechanics or some people that were fixing up stuff in your garage and working on your cars. That right there would be really cool. And finally, last but not least, at the number 10 spot today, an active airport. So believe it or not, the airport is the most active the second you come into online when you enter on that plane. Other than that, there's nothing. There's no planes coming or going. The airport workers just kind of stand around just like the construction workers that we talked about at the beginning of this video. There isn't anything happening. There's no helicopters landing, no planes coming in and out of the hangars. It just feels dead. And it's one of the biggest and most occupied parts of the map in terms of use from players. So I wish it was definitely a bit more active than it was, whether that's planes, whether that's people, helicopters, whatever the case is. I just want some more stuff going on at the airport. And maybe that would finally provide Rockstar a use for it, maybe like going to a different city or something like that. All right, now some honorable mentions that I found were funny on the thread itself. One of them was friendly players. I actually laughed at that when I saw that because it is rare that you like run into someone randomly and they're friendly to you, so that was pretty funny. Another one was sports games. So yeah, it would be cool to see people like on a baseball field playing baseball or on like a blacktop playing a game of pickup basketball. That would be pretty cool. Another one I saw was Fort Zancudo stuff. So like the Air Force scrambling, or like randomly seeing hydrojets going over the city, like the Air Force is going after someone. That would be pretty cool. One of them was kids. Now, kids have not been in any GTA game for the most part. There have been references to them. I just don't think Rockstar wants to associate things with kids, so I don't think we're going to be seeing that anytime soon. And then the last one on the list was pets and or animals. So we know animals isn't really quite possible in online, but what if pets were like locked to an apartment or locked to a mansion? That way Rockstar wouldn't have to load them in the game for everyone. Now that would be a creative and clever idea, and I think I'd really like to see that in online. But anyways, that's all the information that I'm going to be going over for you guys in this video today, and the top 10 things we should see in online but really don't. I'd love to hear your list in the comment section down below. What would you add or take away? If you guys did go and enjoy this video though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.